Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and a happy new year to everybody. Today I have my 2017 favorites. I have a ton of stuff, so this might be a long video, but grab a snack, grab a drink, grab a blanket, do whatever you gotta do, and let's get right into it. Most of these products you guys have seen in a previous favorites video, so I'm not gonna spend too much time on each product just so that I can get through this massive quantity of products. First off, for skincare, I have my tried and true Drunk Elephant TLC Framboos Glycolic Night Serum Refine and Regenerate. This has probably been a favorite for about 2 years now. It's basically a glycolic acid nighttime serum. You just twist it, you pump it. 1 to 2 pumps is all you need for your entire face, and then just small circular motions, and then you can apply a moisturizer or an oil on top of it. Basically, this is just a chemical exfoliator. Glycolic acid is going to work to really smooth and refine your skin. If you have any issues with underneath the surface congestion of the skin, this is really going to help. You wake up with like baby soft smooth skin. It's super gentle, so if you have sensitive skin, don't be scared of it just because it's an acid. And it's really moisturizing, so when you apply it you don't feel like your skin is stripped. If you have oily skin, dry skin, combo skin, it just does it all. It's like the miracle serum. It has raspberry extract, horse chestnut, and 12% AHA blend. AHAs are the acid exfoliators, just so you know. I feel so weird without my claws. This is the first time in, I can't even remember how long I don't have my claws, so when I'm like talking and showing things, I feel naked. They feel like stubs. Struggles, first world problems. This is the Tatcha Silken Pore Perfecting Sunscreen Broad Spectrum SPF 35. It has Japanese wild rose, loquat leaf, and silk extracts to reduce the appearance of pores and leave skin looking beautifully brighter. This stuff is awesome. I know SPF 35, some people are going to be like, that's not enough SPF, but to be fair, after a certain level of SPF, I think it's like 50 or 55 or something, pretty much all SPFs end up being the same unless you're continuously reapplying them the way they suggest reapplying sunscreen. So 35 is good. Wearing SPF in general is what the goal should be, you know? It really does help smooth and blur out your skin texture and pores. It's a really lightweight cream. It comes out white, but it doesn't leave your skin with that ashy residue. It just completely soaks in. It smells really nice. You get a little bit of that sunscreen smell, but it smells like luxurious, like spa sunscreen is kind of what I'm getting. I became so religious about sunscreen from this sunscreen because I would use this as my no makeup kind of, where I would put this all over my face and I was good to go because my face just looked brighter and more even and just smoother. It's such a good sunscreen. Moving on to primers, I have a few of them. This is the J1 Jelly Pack, a dramatic firming skin with improved elasticity and pore smoothing. It's basically just a pump, a clear gel that is super goopy, and then I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see that, but it's really tacky. So when you're applying this, you don't want to drag it onto the skin. You want to actually rub it between your fingers and then just tap it and blend it onto your face, and you'll feel the tack happening. To me, I really love that because for a primer, it kind of feels like, okay, the makeup is really gonna stick, and that's exactly what the makeup does. I traveled to Asia with this and it was hot and I was super active and my makeup looked so good all day, and I swear this was one of the main causes behind it, and I just am a believer after that. It's really hydrating, it feels amazing on the skin, and you can totally use it as skincare, and it will kind of help firm and tighten and brighten the skin up a little bit, but especially as a primer, this stuff is so good. No matter what skin type you have, if you're looking for that longevity of wear with really good skincare benefits. This is another primer that I'm also so serious about. It is the Makeup Forever Step 1 Skin Equalizer, the smoothing primer. Guys, this stuff is the best smoothing, pore filling situation in a primer I have ever tried. It really, on one hand, does fill in your pores, blur out any texture and fine lines, but it does not emphasize or cling to any texture. I have tried so many pore products and all of them at some point or another will emphasize my dry skin. A lot of pore filling primers I feel kind of slip when you apply makeup sometimes, like they don't actually set onto the face, but this really just sets and it creates the most perfect base for your makeup and it just looks airbrushed. It comes with a tiny little nozzle, which when I first saw it, I was like, excuse me, what do you want me to do with this? And it squeezes out really tough. It is just a skin tone product, but the reason why it does that is because you need a very little bit to go your whole face long way. This is the Cover FX Mattifying Primer with Anti-Acne Treatment. This primer this year was just a go-to for me because I love the way it made my skin look with or without makeup. It really is that silicone kind of blurring, smoothing primer, but I really love that it has the anti-acne treatment because whenever I get hormonal breakouts or flare-ups, I always use this because it just makes me feel better that I am applying makeup, it looks nice, and there's a barrier between my irritations and whatever else is there, plus it's treating it at the same time. Don't have an issue with it clinging onto texture or fine lines or any dryness. It just rubs right in and your skin feels so soft and hydrated and silky. Onto foundations. This here is the Fenty Beauty Pro Filt'r Soft Matte Longwear Foundation. I have mine in the shade 290. I know Fenty Beauty just released the second half of the year, but ever since I tried this foundation, it's like one that I cannot put down. It is so flawless. It is so incredibly lightweight. The colors are phenomenal. Like, this is such a good match for me. I will say, if you have dry skin, don't venture into this foundation. If you're really curious, make sure you exfoliate and super hydrate your skin before you put this on. But it's amazing. I apply it with a beauty blender. I apply it with a brush. I recently have just been putting like one pump in my fingers and rubbing it and putting it all over my face, where if you know me, I do not apply foundation with my fingers. It's just something, it freaks me out from a hygiene perspective, but also I feel like most foundations just get too cakey when you apply with your fingers, but this one I love for some reason because it's so lightweight. You can really rub it into the skin, and one pump gives me like pretty much solid medium coverage on my entire face. It feels like nothing is on my skin. It lasts all day no matter what the temperature is or what my activities are. I have a full review on the Fenty Beauty products that I'll leave linked down below for you guys, but I'm a fan. Another foundation that is just always a favorite of mine is the Too Faced Born This Way Undetectable Medium to Full Coverage Foundation, oil-free. I recommend it to like everyone and anyone, no matter what your skin type is. It's actually created for people with any skin type because it has hyaluronic acid in it, so it's going to be really hydrating on the skin, but then it also has these other like alpine rose essences that essentially balance your skin. So it's a really smart foundation. More than anything else, it just looks like skin, it feels like skin, it never feels too heavy, and this is 100% medium to full coverage. It comes with a pump, and I'm in the shade Sand. I'll have a list of everything I'm mentioning with the shades down below in the info box if you're interested. This is from Lancome. This is the Teint Idole Cushion Foundation. No, guys, I love this foundation. It just blew my mind this year, or I guess last year. So it comes in a compact like this, black and gold. Totally up my alley. Mirror on this side, and then it comes with a sponge, which mine is so disgusting because I actually love applying this with this sponge. I've tried with a brush, doesn't work the same. Something about this sponge just gets me the right amount of coverage and blendability, plus it's so easy because it just lives there. And then when you open it, you have your foundation inside. So it's literally a cushion, and the foundation formula is in the cushion. This foundation is definitely like medium to buildable full coverage, which is crazy because cushion foundations are known to be lighter weight and really kind of natural finish. And this doesn't look like you have a lot of makeup on your skin, but it just gives you the most beautiful finish. And it is their Teint Idole formula, which means it's their long wearing formula. It really lasts. Listen, I used this out in Asia too, and it did not budge. I was shook. You need very little to get a lot. And the cool thing about this is that once you buy the entire compact, you can buy the cushion as a refill whenever you need to. So you're not actually paying for the whole thing every single time. You're just paying for the refill on the inside, and it completely snaps out. You put your new one in. No matter what your skin type is too, dry, oily, combo, whatever it is, this is gonna be an amazing, super lightweight, flawless finish foundation for you. I have a powder foundation. This is from Benefit. This is their custom powder cover up for face, Hello Flawless, and I have mine in the shade Never Settle Petal. It comes in a cute little square box, and when you open it, you have a mirror on this side and the powder on this side, and then you can actually open it and you get like a little spongy brush thing on the other side of it, which never use, still in the plastic. First and foremost, the color range runs yellow. A+ for me. Honestly, if foundation matches my skin tone, I will give it a chance, just on the sheer fact that it matches my skin tone. Secondly, it is like the creamiest, most buttery powder you will ever feel. It almost feels like a cream to powder formula, but it's not. It's just a powder, but it's a really hydrating powder, which is why I love it. You get medium to buildable full coverage with this alone, and if you want to use this as a setting powder, like, you're gonna be in that mannequin plastic flawless face zone with your makeup. It takes 2 seconds, okay, exaggeration. It takes maybe 15 to 20 seconds for me to put my entire face of powder foundation on. And then if I put makeup on in the morning and I want to touch up in the evening and I don't feel like putting on a whole new face of makeup, I can just layer this powder foundation on, and it layers so beautifully on top of itself. Whereas if I had liquid that was set with powder and it was kind of getting patchy and I wanted to touch up, I wouldn't have that same flawless, fresh looking makeup effect, just because it's so many different textures that I'm combining. Oh, I forgot a skincare product. This right here. This is the Estee Lauder Advanced Night Micro Cleansing Balm. This is just a solid balm. You take about a raspberry size amount. I know that's super random. I've been sitting here trying to think of like what size amount kind of to take. You just rub it between your fingers and it starts melting into an oil, and then you just go to town and massage it into your face, everywhere you have makeup, your eyes, mascara. It removes absolutely everything. It gets rid of lash glue, and even on days when I'm not wearing makeup and I just want a quick cleanse, I will actually use this on my face just because I feel like it's quicker. I like the scent of it. It's very spa-like, and my skin feels really good and hydrated and just soft after I use it without leaving like a residue on the skin. I can go to town with my eyes with this balm, and it doesn't burn, it doesn't sting. If a little bit gets into my eyes, the moment I wash it out, it's gone. It doesn't leave my vision blurry or anything yucky like that. I believe it's $46, but it's really, really worth it, guys. And you get so much product in here, and for the amount that you're using, like, you will not run out of this anytime soon. Concealer time. So, first up, Tarte Shape Tape. It's amazing, completely full coverage, sets beautifully, doesn't crease, doesn't emphasize the lines under my eyes, doesn't dry my eye area out, is the only concealer that I can apply and then leave for a minute before I set it with powder, and it won't crease on my under eye. And it comes in amazing, amazing colors, so full coverage that it's scary, but somehow as it sets into the skin, it just like melts into your skin tone and just naturally just blends itself in. Your solution to bright, I just woke up from the most amazing 9 hours of sleep. I'm super hydrated. I eat only vegetables and fruits and raw foods. and that's what my under eye area looks like. So that's the Tarte Shape Tape. This concealer is from Becca. It's the Aqua Luminous Perfecting Concealer. This I love for more of my no makeup days, or when I'm feeling super dry and parched in my skin. I will put this together with the Tarte Shape Tape. This has a solid medium coverage. It looks like skin, which is why I like it for my no makeup days, because this is just the right amount of coverage to just blend into my skin, but also even out my skin tone. This one, I have heard a lot of people talk about this year, and it is the Nars Soft Matte Complete Concealer. Don't get freaked out by the name. By soft matte, it basically just means that it's not a liquid, super dewy concealer. It is a pot concealer, so it does have a slightly drier consistency than something that is super liquidy like the Becca Aqua Luminous. But it is so creamy. It is medium to full coverage, no problem, and it's just amazing for all over the face. I use this under my eyes, I use this on blemishes, I use this on my face. It does it all, and it just looks seamless with your skin. I will actually layer this on top of my concealer for my under eyes, because something about it on the under eyes is so crazy brightening. If you're someone who has wicked dry skin and you want to try this, I would say mix it in with like an oil. You totally could do that. Mix it in with an eye cream. You could also do that, or mix it in with another concealer that you know you already love. Powders. You already know, Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish Powder in shade number 2. The most beautiful finishing powder ever. It comes in 3 shades. Again, I have mine in shade 2 medium, and it's so lightweight. It feels like a satin silk texture. It gives you slightly extra coverage because it is mildly tinted, but it is a hydrating powder, so it never makes you look cakey or crepey or dry or stretched. You can keep touching up with this. I use this when I'm setting my foundation. I use this to set my under eyes. I use this to set pretty much everything. I use this to buff everything out. This is one of my go-to ride or die powders. It has been for about 3 years now, and I don't see that changing. This here is the Laura Mercier translucent powder. Surprise, surprise. I love this for setting my under eyes. It is amazing for baking because it's just super brightening. It really locks everything in heavy duty. If you have very dry skin, this is going to be a little too dry for you. I use this on clients, I use this on myself, and it does the job. There are definitely days where I feel like my skin is just too dry for this, and so I'll use this maybe in conjunction with something else. It looks great in photos. I don't have an issue with flashbacks. I want to cover setting sprays real quick. The first one is no surprise. It's my Makeup Forever Mist and Fix 02 makeup setting spray, long lasting and moisturizing. This one is the best setting spray ever. It is super fine mist. It feels like nothing on the skin. A lot of setting sprays, once they hit the skin, kind of feel like there's something sitting there, which I hate. But more importantly, the polymers that are inside this spray actually bind when they hit your skin to create this breathable, oxygenated, moisturizing mask essentially for your makeup that kind of waterproofs everything. So anything that hits your makeup after this spray essentially is just repelled from your makeup. And this is a real thing because your girl sweats a lot, and I've worn this when I have been sweating, and I usually in the past have gotten like little like streakies of sweat marks. Real cute, but not with this spray. I will literally, if I have makeup on my neck and chest, spray all over just to make sure that I'm sealed in. This one is also so hydrating and moisturizing that I can really go to town and just load up on powder, and once I spray this, it just melts down all the powder and all the makeup together to really make it just look like skin. You can take every other setting spray away from me and leave me with that one, but without it I can't function. It's real good. This here is the Tatcha Luminous Dewy Skin Mist. I wouldn't call it a setting spray. It's more just a hydrating spray. I love using this as a rehydrator, so I will put it on bare skin to kind of add moisture to my skin. I will put it on top of my foundation layer and then use my beauty blender and kind of press it in to add moisture and hydration to my foundation. I will add it on top of my powder to kind of melt down the powder. I will actually spray it onto my beauty blender and then gently press my under eye area or my highlight after I've used powder products to kind of hydrate the powders if I feel like they're looking a little dry or ashy. It's so multi-use, it's very expensive, but I think it's worth it. This is limited edition packaging. This is like my 3rd bottle of this, and my Makeup Forever one, this is probably like my 9th bottle of this. And we've made it to color products. I do not know how long this video is so far, and it makes me very nervous for the editing process. This here is the Chanel Soleil Tan de Chanel Bronze Universal. So it's a cream to powder kind of a formula. This is what the inside looks like. Right away, the downside is that this is the only color. So if this looks like it may be too light for you, unfortunately, Chanel has you out of luck because they have not created darker colors, which blows my mind because this product I definitely was using in high school like a smooth 10 years ago. So I don't really know what's going on. Also, how bougie am I that I was using this? I definitely stole it like from my mom or my sister or something, and that's how I got my hands on it in high school. So, bougie and proud. Anyways, great bronzer. This is going to be amazing for anyone who wants to make their bronzer more long lasting because you can apply this underneath your normal bronzer and it's just going to kind of hold on to that color. Or it's amazing for someone who just wants something really easy, really natural, just looks like your skin is perfectly bronzed and glowy and bright and youthful. I feel it's like the perfect tan color because it's pretty neutral, which I personally prefer because things tend to look real orange on me real quick, and this doesn't. The nice thing is because of the texture of this, it's so silky that you don't need to worry about overdoing it. If you feel like you've overdone a certain area, just blend it out with your beauty blender or your sponge or your fingers and it blends away really, really easily. Dear Chanel, please come out with more colors. The next bronzing product I have is from Vita Liberata. This is the Body Blur in the shade of medium. It's essentially just a instant tint mousse. It has a moussey texture to it. Technically, this is body makeup, but I use this on my face specifically because it just gives you the most beautiful natural tan. It gives you a little bit of that glow. On days when I don't want to wear any makeup, I will just pop this on if I want to feel like I'm a little more put together. And it kind of looks like I have makeup because it has that blurring technology, so it evens out your skin tone. I maybe use like a pea size amount, rub it between my fingers, and just on bare skin, rub it all over my face. You can actually layer it on too to have a little bit more coverage, so it has more of that blurring effect, so it'll give you more of that even tone. It's not like a permanent tan. Once you wash it off, it's gone. It's not going to tan over time or anything. It's just like an instant makeup pretty much, but it's just a bronzing product. And the other nice thing too is because of the texture of the mousse, the more you rub it in, the more you diffuse the color. So if you feel like, oh my god, I have way too much on my face, just keep rubbing it in and the color on its own will kind of just blend out and lighten up. That's what it looks like. It almost looks like it's my skin tone, but my face is significantly lighter than the rest of my body. So this hand is without the body blur, this hand is with the body blur. So you can see just even a tiny bit just really perfects it. It makes it look more hydrated. A little bit of a tan just gives you that healthy look about you. This was actually shown to me by my boss, Michelle, so shout out to you, Michelle, because it's awesome. This here is Nars Laguna. This is the original powder. It is the perfect type of brown. It definitely is warmer than some of the other bronzers that I own, but sometimes I like that just to add a little bit of extra flush or extra color to the face. And it has this really subtle glow of golden sheen to it, which helps give your skin in turn that glow. It doesn't look glittery on the skin, but it just makes the skin look really pretty, really fresh, and beautifully bronzed. This is the Benefit Hoola. This is the little mini that I have here. This is a completely matte bronzer. It is just the perfect brown shade. It's not too cool, it's not too warm. You can use this for contouring and you can use this for bronzing up your entire face. I use it for eyeshadow, I use it for contouring my nose sometimes. And another thing that I really love about this is that it blends so beautifully. For being a matte powder, it doesn't go on patchy, it doesn't look muddy on the skin. So that's Hoola and that's Laguna, and you can tell the difference. Hoola is definitely cooler than Laguna is, but it gives you that real I just got off the beach kind of a tan, which I love. This here is a tried and true love of mine. This is Nars Sin. The Nars blush formulas in general are amazing, some of the best. So pigmented, beautifully just blend onto the skin and last a really, really long time. This here is Nars Sin. I personally feel like this is just a universally flattering shade. It is just the perfect complementary plummy mauve shade, and that glow is just the perfect amount of glow to really make the skin look radiant. This looks amazing as an eyeshadow too, by the way. The next blush is on the other side of the price spectrum, and this is from Milani. It's the Baked Powder Blush in 03 Berry Amore. You can see the veining that goes through. There's a little bit that bronzy kind of a shade, and then the rest of it is that beautiful plummy mauve pink, and then you have some gold flecks running through it. So this is kind of like the best of all worlds. This here is Berry Amore. So it's definitely brighter, it's definitely pinker. On my skin tone, it is that really pretty mauve, pink, bronzy kind of blush. This blush has been such a favorite for years now. This is the Clinique Cheek Pop Blush Pop in 14 Heather Pop. It's a lot of pops in the sentence. Again, universally flattering color. I find that this is super flattering for anyone in the medium skin tone range. And it's just the perfect nude pink blush where it's not going to be too peachy, it's not going to be super bright pink. The reason why I love these Clinique blushes specifically is because they're kind of that gel powder formula, which means that all you get on your face is color. You don't get any powder, so that excess powderiness or cakiness that comes from too many powders on your face, you won't have an issue with this. There's no shimmer or glitter particles in the blush itself, but just the texture itself gives you that glow to the skin. So this here is Heather Pop. I own every single color, for the record. Heather Pop just happens to be like one of my go-tos. Because of the texture, you don't have to worry about like one dip in the blush and you have too much on your face. You can really go to town and buff it in and it will build up as you want it to. Now we move on to highlighters. MAC Whisper of Guilt, which made a comeback this past year in 2017. This is the most beautiful gold highlighter. This is the highlighter that makes your skin look like it was just dipped in gold. It is super buildable. You can get a really subtle glow from it, but you can also really amp it up and like dampen your brush or your skin and then lay it down and you are reflective. And I think you can still get your hands on this at certain places that sold the MAC Holiday Collection, which is what this is a part of. And it is that extra dimension skin finish, so all you get is pure glow. No powder residue. Like, look at that. It's just this warm gold yumminess. Definitely bought like 7 of these because I was not playing games. After the last time it went out of stock like 30 million years ago when they first brought it out, I meant business. It was like 4 + 4 is 8. Quick maths for me. A highlighter that completely shocked me was actually Wisp from ColourPop. It's one of their Super Shock Cheeks. So it's a cream to powder formula. So it's really silky, but it is a beautiful like champagne-y gold shade. And when you put this on your face alone, it looks so stunning. But my God, underneath another powder highlighter, like as a base for a powder highlighter, this thing, it just takes any highlighter to the next level. I will wear this on no makeup days if I'm just wearing concealer and then this and that's it. I will wear this on full makeup days. It does layer beautifully on top of powder. They have tons of different colors and I love the formula of them. This here is the Jouer Powder Highlight in the shade Topaz. It is a powder gel formula, but not in your traditional like hard powder sense. It just feels slippery. Like, it's the weirdest sensation. And then when you have it on your finger, it's just glow. It's gliding and sliding. It feels like a super lightweight gel, but look at how reflective that shade is. Topaz, I'm not gonna lie, is definitely more my shade when I have a little bit of a tan, because if I use this on my cheeks right now, when I look straight ahead, you can see kind of dark patches because it's a little too dark for where I am right now. There are a bunch of different colors. They're super long wearing. You can build them up, you can blend them down, you can use them as eyeshadows. They're just so, so good. I had to include Trophy Wife from Fenty Beauty because this highlighter had me shook in 2017. It is a gold powder with gold glitter and gold reflect, and it is just so stunning on people with medium to deep skin tones. This is just everything. Like, I wear this all the time, which I never thought I would because I thought it was going to be way too yellow, which is ironic that I'm saying something is going to be way too yellow for my skin. You can make it a lot softer, you can really amp it up, you can layer it in with different highlights. It is just such a beautiful highlighter. So like here, it looks real yellow gold. I still think that looks so stunning. But then if you blend it out, you get just what looks like literally gold dust blended into the skin. It's definitely a look. Like, you definitely are wearing a very unique highlighter. But listen, I slather my face in this. When I wear this, I usually put it on my inner corner, on my lids, on my brow bone, cheeks, down my nose, upper lip, on my shoulders if I'm wearing sleeveless. Like, this just is such a unique and striking highlighter, but it's still so flattering. This highlight definitely got introduced towards the second half of the year. This is the Makeup Forever Artist Faced Color Powder Duo. This little mini is actually limited edition. You can still get it. It's on the website. This has a little blush in it, which I believe is shade 214. And this here is the highlighter, which is shade 106. The formula for these is just so phenomenal. It is just the creamiest, almost gel-like powder, similar to Jouer. It's a little more powdery than Jouer, but look at how stinking pigmented that is. Let's just, like, do you guys see that? Just a little bit, literally the remnants of what was on my finger from that swatch. And I'm just glowing. This is a midi. The full-size pans are like this big and this wide. And actually, now that I'm filming, I'm gonna pop on some of the Fenty Trophy Wipe just to show you guys, because I feel like a highlighter like that, you probably would want to see it being used. Like, look at that. Ooh, 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 ooh. I don't know what that sound effect was supposed to be. It's so stinking beautiful. And what I was saying before was, if I go into the Makeup Forever now, that's way too much of the Makeup Forever, and I just blend it, I can soften up how intensely yellow the gold is showing up. It's still gonna be real intense, but it's just not gonna be quite as yellow. And using a different brush or a clean brush would probably help. Okay, so upon some reevaluation, I'm actually gonna split my 2017 favorites into two parts. This video is just getting way too long for one full video, and I wanna show you guys all the stuff that I have because it's really good stuff and I want you guys to know about it. So stay tuned for part 2 coming your way very, very soon. But until the next video, thank you guys as always so much for tuning in, and I'll catch you guys soon. Bye guys.